Here are some weather headlines we are following. It's going to be mainly sunny today. It is going to be a bit breezy at times. And maybe the big story, at least in the Atlantic, the tropics are very, very quiet. So we are heading to the real heart of hurricane season. Matter of fact, the peak of hurricane season is tomorrow. There are 3 tropical waves out there that are being monitored. Have that one over towards Central America, the one here in the Central Atlantic, and then one over in the Eastern Atlantic. But no tropical activity is expected over the next 7 days. So even as we go into the peak of hurricane season, which is typically September 10th, it looks like it's going to be quiet out there at least for the next 7 days. August 20th through October 10th, historically the most active part of hurricane season. About 2/3 of all activity occurs in this time frame, but as we mentioned, we're not expecting any activity over the next 7 days. Typically, once we get past September 10th, the activity does drop, but keep in mind it only takes one storm to kind of impact your area for it to become a busy season. Tropical frequency, very high during the month of September. Matter of fact, these are the approximate number of named storms passing within 150 miles of a location. This is between 1944 and 2020. You can kind of see that area in red there. That's where you would typically expect the activity to develop in the month of September. But we do have very dry, stable air in place, and we do have some Saharan dust coming off the West African coast, moving into the Atlantic, so that's keeping things relatively quiet. And we also have some wind shear that's kind of tearing anything apart that does try to develop. So far this season, we've had 6 named storms. The strongest storm and the only hurricane we've had so far this season was Aaron. The last named storm was Fernand, and if and or when we have our next named storm, it'll be called Gabrielle. But we do believe there will be more activity before the season is done. Pollen season is a very long season. Ragweed and grasses still kind of in this high range for today. It does drop off a little tomorrow. Our temperatures dropped off a little bit yesterday. We had a high temperature of 82 degrees. We were at 88 on Sunday. Temperatures this afternoon probably in that same range, upper 70s in the northern half of the Midlands, low 80s elsewhere, and it has been relatively dry. As far as those temperatures were concerned over the weekend, 93 on Saturday, and on Friday we hit 94 degrees. The records for today, 101, that was set in 1939. That's going to be safe. The record low is 53, set in 1951. The record rainfall was set just 2 years ago. But the UV index still very high, even though our temperatures will be a little bit lower than normal today. UV index still pretty high. A little bit of cloud cover possible, but generally mainly sunny skies this afternoon. Looking for mostly clear skies tonight, and as we look ahead towards your Wednesday, more of the same. Good bit of sunshine. Still have this flow out of the north, so that's still going to bring down that slightly cooler air. And throughout today, it could be a little bit breezy at times with those winds out of the northeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Weather Prediction Center. This is the rainfall forecast from the Weather Prediction Center, and you notice no rain's expected, so things are going to remain dry. We could use a little bit of rainfall at this point. Upper 70s, Winnsboro, Newberry, Camden, low 80s elsewhere. We talked about those winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour coming out of the northeast, and then lows tonight mid to upper 50s and low 60s, so about where we started off this morning. Football forecast. It looks like it's going to be a great weekend for football. Maybe you're heading over towards Atlanta as Clemson takes on Georgia Tech. Kickoff at noon. Temperature is right around 79 degrees. A little bit closer to home. Orangeburg for the Bethune-Cookman game at South Carolina State, 81. That kickoff is at 6 o'clock in the evening. And over towards Conway, East Carolina taking on Coastal Carolina, 75 degrees for that 7:30 kick. In Vanderbilt and South Carolina, Williams-Brice Stadium, kickoff 7:45 with kickoff temperatures right around 77 degrees. Here's our 7-day forecast. Upper 70s, low 80s for daytime highs, mid 80s tomorrow, mid to upper 80s Thursday and Friday. And then as we do look ahead towards the weekend, we'll say mid 80s, warming back up into the upper 80s to possibly near 90 degrees by Monday. Myrtle Beach forecast over the weekend, low 80s for daytime highs. At this point, just a small chance for maybe a little bit of rain on Saturday. Charleston looking pretty good over the weekend as well, low 80s for daytime highs. The only issue along the coastal region will be a high risk for dangerous and potentially life-threatening rip currents. That's the case for today, and that may linger over the next few days. So keep that in mind if you're going to be heading towards the coastal region. If you're heading to the upstate over the weekend, 83 on Saturday, 86 on Sunday, Monday, upper 80s to near 90 degrees. As we do look ahead a little bit, 8 to 14 days, this would be September 16th through September 22nd. September 22nd is the fall equinox. We're expecting warmer than normal conditions for this portion of South Carolina. And then as you head westward, it looks like warmer than normal conditions as well. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed. We need some more rain. Looks like wetter than normal conditions September 16th through September 22nd. So possibly we could get some of that much needed rain in our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook.